on today. We're
Okay.
live. It's certainly faster to start a hangout for this Beck Scrum that contains myself and Federico, but have lots of people been put off by the nasty thing saying you're going to be broadcast live around the world. I suspect probably not, but we'll never know.
Hmm.
How are things going? For me, I have had more frustrating interactions with the government, um, and but is there a light at the end of the tunnel? They're saying that like there's a thing and it's an accident, and there's another thing, and it's like, okay, if you refund the money, but how will you refund my time? Um,
Yes,
but
that's
that's
a true
another.
question.
Yeah, I have been making in parallel, while being on hold to the government, some progress on. I've used the standard JS is a wonderful thing that everybody doing coding in JavaScript should know about. If you don't know about it, then just type standard JS into your nearest pet, and they will respond. I'm a pet. I don't speak. What are you talking about? I'll put it in TED Talk. This is cool. But basically, I've just been standardizing the JS on this private project I'm working on, and getting into actually after spending 4 days on the acceptance tests and thinking, God, this Electron app is really hard to acceptance test properly with Spectrum when it doesn't actually support the simple things like manipulating dialogues. Why do we bother with these acceptance tests? It's and you have like long run. Oh god, I mean, we have the same sorts of issues in website one and Java and local support, and it's kind of like I don't know. Have we been lied to about acceptance tests? Anyway, we can talk about that more on some other occasion. We have the website one meeting coming up immediately after this, where we shall vote on some things, and then I shall work some more on this private project, and I'll probably have to work on it Sunday as well, and then there will be the next week. How are things going with you, Federico?
I don't have too much to report. Just we had the React Mob,
We did.
went really well. Quite a few people there. Uh, Sam ran the show perfectly as usual. And
Only because I was so ably assisted by yourself.
okay. So, and let's see here. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to report. The only thing that comes to mind. I do have an issue that I brought up about. I'll bring it up in the website one meeting, and I'm
Okay,
looking for it right now. It's I
cool.
think number 1814, if anyone is listening, or 1813, I think. Uh, yeah, I'll leave it there since we're about to go into the website
Yeah,
one
we'll
meeting.
go into that meeting. Yes, that's cool. In other news, I did also go through all the project channels and just alert people to the new pull request that we have on the Adventures repo for the community-wide code of conduct. Um, GitHub has these two code of conduct default things. One is specifically for open source project with code, and I think pretty much every project already had those or is pulling them in. And they have another code of conduct that's for sort of communities and that run events and things like that. So I think they're specifically thinking about conferences and so on. But yeah, my plan is to have the greeting bot greet people and say, yes, welcome to our Adventures. This, we're a welcoming open community. Please do read our code of conduct. And it didn't make sense to point to then, like, for example, the code of conduct on local support or what have you. So, but yes, this seems to make sense to have the sort of broader, general, everybody be nice to each other code of conduct. We can link to that.
Right.
And yes, that becomes. I think that's important. I felt bad about cross posting to all the different projects, but I feel it's kind of important that everybody at least marginally acknowledges that and has a chance to look at this before we adopt it. I did, as a result of sort of some repeated harassment issues, have to remove one member of the community yesterday. I think, as I was saying in Scrum earlier today, there are, in general, I think all of the interaction in the public channels has been very positive in our adventures. It's a shame that one person has used the sort of privacy of the private channels to be less than civil. So yeah, I think it's important that we have that. Make it. I don't think it magically will prevent the incident happening again. As the community gets larger, we'll encounter all sorts of people. But it's good to have a policy, I think, in place to cover these sorts of situations.
And I think it's good that you brought it up, in front of everyone. the different channels for comment, because it brings more awareness to it. Even though you did cross post in different channels, that's fine. Yeah, and you get more feedback that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I would very, very hesitantly do that. There was, I think I've made the mistake in the past that just by posting something to, like AV Community Talk, that somehow the majority of people will be aware of it. But I think, yeah, and it's an important issue. So, yeah, well, that's our Camp Beck Scrum, and I guess sensibly, I will go and make the website one meeting, or maybe see you and possibly others there.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll wrap that. Well, I guess turn off the podcast.